bad. Coming up next, Willem Dafoe co-stars with Susan Sarandon and Dana Delaney in Light Sleeper.
Is there something you want to say? What's up? We were happy.
We were miserable. We were either scoring or coming down, mostly coming down.
No, we had good times.
That's Willem Dafoe as a drug delivery man in Light Sleeper, the latest film from Paul Schrader, who came to fame 17 years ago with his script about another New York loner who cruises the city at night, Travis Bickle, Robert De Niro's character, of course, in Taxi Driver. Light Sleeper, however, is not as powerful, principally because of a weak ending that mimics Taxi Driver too closely. Dafoe plays a character who works for an upscale drug dealer, nicely played by Susan Sarandon as a worldly-wise tough guy with maybe a hole in her heart. They're both concerned about the future of the drug business now that crack has taken over.
I'm thinking about taking some music courses. Sound editing, mixing.
Didn't you already do that?
No, that was acting.
No, that was modeling.
During his travels through the city, Dafoe tries to reestablish a relationship with his former girlfriend, Dana Delaney, who's given up drugs and has remained clean for 4 years. She knows getting back with him would be poisonous.
You were an encyclopedia of suicidal fantasies. I heard every one. I mean, nobody could clear a room like you, John.
But she's a moth drawn to his flame in the film's most interesting relationship, and they do sleep together one more time, much to her later dismay.
Please get dressed and leave as soon as you can. I have a key. Bye.
Marianne.
It's my fault.
I don't know why this story has to have a violent conclusion, but it does, and it begins with Dafoe buying a gun.
Look, I've never used one of these before. How do you do it?
Simple. Put the bullets in, point it at the bad guys, pull the trigger, and they fall down.
Once again, third act troubles. The third act of Light Sleeper echoes a lot of Taxi Driver, and obviously Paul Schrader is smart enough to know exactly what he's doing. But all I can say, without giving away too much, is that I didn't find the violence as well motivated in this film as in Taxi Driver, nor the life goes on ending. What does work and what does recommend the film are a series of really fine performances, well-drawn characters, and a general mood of ennui and desperation that marks the once fashionable drug culture. I'm voting thumbs up on this picture because of the performances and the characterizations, but with big reservations.
You know, I feel that Schrader in this film is trying to deliberately do a variation on a theme. Obviously,
oh, yes, he is.
He wrote Taxi Driver. He knows all about Taxi Driver, and anyone as familiar with that movie as we are can see how some of the acts have parallels here. But the mood is completely different, and that's, I think, the soul of this movie. This is a tremendously sad picture. It's about a sad man in a sad business in a sad city dealing with sad people. And I was amazingly moved by the film. I wasn't sitting there thinking, well, the ending isn't as motivated as it should have been, because I was so overwhelmed by the strength of this character and the performance by Willem Dafoe. I think it's a very, very good film.
Well, I mean, I said the same thing about the characters here, and I said the mood of ennui, so we're seeing the same thing. At the same point, he is obviously doing a riff on this other thing, on Taxi Driver. I just ask you, in the final sequence in the picture, without giving it away, in the final sequence of the picture, did you believe the two of them there? I didn't.
More so than in Taxi Driver. You see, that's what was interesting to me, because everybody goes back to Taxi Driver when Travis Bickle gets back together again with the
Sybil Shepherd
character, and they say, people have been asking both Schrader and Scorsese for 70 years, what did that mean? Was that a fantasy? Was it real or not? And in this film, obviously it is real, and it's almost as if the director-writer, this time Schrader, is trying to make a commentary on the earlier film by saying, this is the way this could have happened. This was actually, what happens in the last scene here is that the buried plot of the whole movie is revealed. This attraction that was never stated in so many words until the end.
Well, I think that in the first case, it was such a far-afield choice in Taxi Driver that it was shockingly fresh. And here, it is underwhelmingly familiar.
Okay, when we come back, Brand